Hi, I'm going to show you how to code this adorable penguin, and it's set up so that if someone answers your questions correctly, the penguin will appear. Let me show you what I mean with a different one. This is a little more complicated, but this is the kind of thing we're doing where as people answer the questions, pixels start to pop up in specific colors, and it eventually ends up making a full picture. I'm going to show you how to do that with the penguin. The first step is to make your pixel art. So if you have this penguin, you're already ready to go. If you don't have it, you can click on the description below and get this penguin. There's also a set of 20 different winter designs that you could get too for some variety. And you can also make your own. So I have a blank template as well, and you can invent your own picture. So I have my picture here. I'm all ready to go. The next step is to write my questions and answers. I do that just by clicking on the box and typing. You do want to pick something that has a very concrete answer. So go ahead and pause the video and go write in your questions and your answers. Okay, I am ready, and I wanted to show you that it is okay if you have two that have the same answer. I have 30 and 30, and that is perfectly fine. The next thing you want to do is make sure that you understand what your colors are in the picture and how many you have. So in our penguin, the way it is now, we have black, gray, dark green, light green, and orange. And if you want to make any changes, you can. Something I notice is that I have 5 colors, but I have 9 answer boxes. So for example, let's say I coded it so that this one reveals the black. And when they answer this one, all the gray pops up. And then dark green, light green, orange, that means my entire penguin will have appeared, but there's still 3 questions left. 4, I forgot to fill that one in. So I don't want to reveal the whole penguin at this point. So maybe if I don't have enough colors, I'll reveal like half of the black here, and then all the gray, a little bit of the dark green, all of the light green, a little bit more of the black, half of the, something like that. So I'm doing a little bit of pixels each time just to make sure that it's revealing a little bit of the penguin at every step. And I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so we're actually ready to start coding. I'm going to start with the black first. And now I'm going to click on the answer box. Don't worry about the question box. It does not matter anymore. We are coding this box because that's the one that they're filling out. And if they put the right number in there, which is 9, then the colors appear. So this is the box that gets the code. Now I'm going to come up here to Format. And if you don't have this menu up here, click on this button, and that will bring it back. So I'm clicking on Format because that's what I'm doing. I'm formatting this, coming down to Conditional Formatting, and now this side window will pop up, and if you lose this window, you can get back in the same way. Okay, so I have this box selected, and I'm going to pick my color, and I want it to turn black because that's the color I'm working with. I also need to change the text to white because otherwise you can't see it anymore. You don't always have to do that, but it's kind of fun later if you want to. But in this case, if I'm turning the box black, I should change the text too. Okay, so now that has been turned to the color I'm going to use. Now I'm going to write my code. The code equals $column, $row equals answer. What that means is the column number is B, or column letter, so I'm just showing them what I'm talking about. And then the row is 4, and then the answer is 9. So all I'm really doing is saying, what is the space? The space is B4, and then what does it need to have? It needs to have a 9. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the conditional formatting again. I'm going to click on that one that I started up there. I'm going to come up to Format Rules and click on this. And I'm going to come down to custom formula is, because I'm writing my own custom formula. And then I'm going to type it in here. So I'm saying equals because I want it to equal something. $sign. The column is B, and the row is 4. And this is like a thick row here. It's 4 through 7, but you use the first number. So the first number is 4. So you don't need to put in the 5, the 6, or the 7. It's just B4. That's this one right here, B4. This one is B8. This one is B12. This one is B16. So I'm just putting in the name of the space. And then I need that space to equal 9. So I'm going to say equals 9. Okay. If the answer is a number, you just put it in like that. If the answer is a word, like let's say I needed to answer tree, like I asked a question and the answer was tree, then I have to put it in quotes. But if it's a number, you just put the number like that. Okay, now the code is done. That's actually it. What do I want to turn black? Because the way it is right now, it's just going to turn that one black, which is good. But I also want it to turn some of the penguin black. So now I'm going to come up here. It says apply to range and move this aside. And now I'm just going to select some more cubes or squares that I want to also turn black. I need to hold down Control, or if you're on a Mac, hold down the button Command, because I don't want to lose what I've already selected. When you hold down Control, it lets you click on many different things and it collects them all in a group. So I already have that 9 box, so I'm going to keep it. So I'm going to hit Control and hold it down with my finger. And then with my other hand, I'm going to just start clicking on some of these black squares. So I'm selecting black squares that I want to include in this code so that when someone types in 9, it's going to turn these ones black as well as that big box with the 9 in it. And I'm not selecting all of them because I only have 5 colors, so I have more to do. That's good. Now I need to do 3 things. You can go ahead and let go of Control, but don't click on anything. Because if you lose all these, you have to do it again, which is fine, but I don't want to do that. The first thing I need to do is click OK. And you see I had to pull that up to see it. So I have to say, OK, I agree on these ones that I've selected. Click OK. The next thing I need to do is come over here and click Done. And then the last thing, which is really important, is I need to reset these cells so that they don't stay black forever without the code. So you see everything is still selected. Don't click anywhere else. Come up to the paint bucket and click Reset. So I did 3 things. I clicked OK on the range, I clicked Done on the code, and then I came up to the paint bucket and hit Reset. Now I'm done. I'm going to test it out. So why are all these black pieces still there? Because the answer is correct. Let's go ahead and delete it. There we go. If someone answers this correctly, those pieces should fill back in. Ta-da! Now I'm going to keep going. And I'm going to delete it because if you leave it in there, you're going to select the same pieces over and over, which would be very confusing. So you do need to delete it. You want your penguin to be disappearing before your eyes. All right, so now we're going to do this next one. Can you see, if you look at this box, what we would call this box in the code? Like what column is it and what row is it? This one is B8. So we're going to be coding for B8 to equal 20. And you can just click add another rule if you still have this window pulled up. And if you don't have this window pulled up, you would go to Format, Conditional Formatting, and it will pull it up. Okay, so let's use our green this time. And I need to go make sure that I understand where that green came from so that I can find it. So I'm actually going to click on the green and just look at it. Okay, so it's one of the custom colors and it's the darker one. Good. Okay, I just want to make sure I can find it. All right, I'm going to come back to this box I'm working with, the 20 here. I'm going to come down and I'm going to grab that green up here. And again, I mean, if you accidentally used this one, like it wouldn't matter that much. Okay. It's okay. But I always like to check the color first just so I don't get frustrated and I know where to find it. So there's my green. Now the next step is to write your code. So click on Format Cells If. So we're basically saying change the color if. And we're doing it if the custom formula is correct. The custom formula needs to equal, now we'll put in our box. So our box is $B, $8. And that needs to equal 20 because that's the answer to my math problem. Okay, the next step is to pick the range. And you can see that it's already gotten that B8 through B11, which is this box here. So I'm just going to add to it. Okay, so I'm going to hold down Control and click. And I'm not going to take all of them, but I'll take about half of them. Something I want to show you too, if you accidentally click off, like it turns into a hand, and then sometimes I click that on accident and it like starts over, even though it says that it's still in there. It's really annoying. If that happens and you just have to start over, that's okay. Part of this project is just patience and just going really slowly, and that's all right. All right, so I'm selecting some of my dark greens here. Oh, and if you accidentally click on one you didn't mean to, like that one, just click on it again. Remember, I'm holding down Control as I do this so that it's saving everything I've clicked, including that answer column. It's so important that I code that answer column so that I can find the code whenever I need to just by clicking on the answer column. Okay, so I'm done. Remember, I have 3 steps to do. I have to click OK, then I click Done, then I reset the paint bucket. So I'll come down here and hit OK. Now I'm coming over here, click Done, and then come up to the paint bucket and hit Reset. Now let's go ahead and check it. So if I delete this, it takes away the green, and then if I put the 20 back in and then I have to go off of it like that, it comes back. All right, so we're going to keep going. At this point, if you're feeling like you want to pause the video and give it a try, you're welcome to just dive in and try a few. You're also welcome just to keep watching. I am doing this whole thing live, so I know it'll take a little while just to get through the whole thing. So you are welcome to pause, go give it a try, just take what you need, but I'm gonna keep going. So I wanna do this box next. I wanna do the light green, and if I click on the light green just to see what it is, it's that first one there, so I'll be able to find it. And this box is B12. All right, so I have it selected, and I'm just gonna click Add Another Rule. Great, so I want it to turn that green. The text can stay black because you can see it. I only really change the text color if I have to. Now I'll come write my code. And the code, custom formula is equals $B, $12 equals 30. Now I'll select my range, move this out of the way, hold down Control so you don't lose that box. And I am going to start selecting light greens. And I don't know, I don't think I'm going to do all the light greens because I still have so many colors left over, or so many questions left over. So maybe I'll just leave some of them out. There we go. Lift up your finger that was holding Control and do your 3 steps. Okay. Done. Reset. Now I'm going to test it. Here we go. Let's go ahead and test all of them. This reminds me too, it's good to write your answers down so you don't have to keep doing the math, especially if you do like harder questions than this. It might be good to write them down because you're going to be deleting them and putting them back in. Okay, let me take stock of what I have now. So I have 5 colors left to do, and I have 6 more questions. So I could split the black up one more time, but from here on out, I have to finish the color up. So like the next time I do green, I have to do all the green, dark green. The next time I do light green, I have to do all the light green. Otherwise, I won't have enough questions. So I just have to kind of keep track of that. So maybe I'll do like all of the gray, all of the orange, all of the dark green, all of the light green, half of the black and half of the black, something like that. Okay, so let's do the orange next for this column. I'm going to click on that orange and see where it is and what it is. So it's up here in the standard colors. Again, if you ended up using this one, it would be fine, but I want to make sure I can see it. There it is. Now I'm going to click on the 5, click add another rule, and go grab that orange. Ooh, that's pretty. Now I'm going to write my code. Custom formula is equals $B $16 equals 5. Now I'll come up and get my range, move this out of the way, see that 5 box is still selected, hold down Control or Command, and I'm going to take all of the orange because I don't have that many questions left to work with. So I'm going to take the whole batch of orange now. Lift up on the control button, so I'm no longer touching that, and do your 3 steps. Okay, done, and reset. Now click off of it, delete, and test it. And remember, something that I mentioned briefly is that when you put the answer in, you have to click away from the box for the color to pop up. So the 5 is in there, but there's no orange yet. But if I click literally anywhere, it'll pop up. Okay, so it is looking pretty good so far. Let's keep going. I'm going to do, since I said I was going to split up the black half and half, I'll do a little bit of the black now. I'm going to do about half of it. Since I'm filling that box with black, I'm going to change the color to white. And yeah, just keep going here. So So now let's test it. And this is just a good way to check that everything is working. And there's our penguin.